Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Stafford's Lions going up against Smith's Chiefs. So let's get you out to Kansas City as we say hello to Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, as always, it is a frenzied atmosphere inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Charles the lone setback. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll keep it on the ground with Charles again. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Not too many more ideal situations than 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
A first down carry here for Charles. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They'll fake it. Now Smith. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down. And as we peer at this offense now, let's look at Jamal Charles, a guy who continues to be so productive in this league.
No matter where he touches it on the field, there's a very good chance he can go the distance.
Smith now to throw. And he's got his man. That's Macklin. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Jeremy Macklin, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
Glover Quinn entered the league as a cornerback, but has evolved into one of the best free safeties in the NFL.
2nd and 10, Smith again. And he whips that one incomplete there. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Smith. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And Hill with it over the middle.
Brandon, another catch for Tyreek Hill. How do you defend him? Because kickoff return, punt return, catching the ball, whether it's a receiver out of the backfield. And, of course, you can run it with him, too.
Well, let me give you some numbers from last year. To your point, 12 total touchdowns, 6 of them receiving, 3 rushing, and 3 in the return game.
If you're an offensive coordinator and you can't diagram plays for this guy, turn in your clipboard. So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
That's complete right around the 8. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. From the gun, here's Smith. That's caught at the 3. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. So they get the field goal, but part of that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally, when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't. But really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. A first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Well, this past season was tough for Abdullah. Foot injury costing him the last 14 games of the year. And that was a big blow. They could never really get that running game going, could they?
It changed everything for them because Theo Riddick, who is his backup, is really a 3rd down back. The guy that they want to use out of the backfield to catch passes in open space. He had to become more of a runner. And I think that limited his effectiveness in doing what he does best. Amir Abdullah was drafted to be their lead runner. If they keep him healthy, that'll help the Lions offense in 2017.
And the D looking like they may blitz. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. He gets it complete to Anquan Bolden. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. And let's take a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City.
Marcus Peters is a former first-round pick who has great anticipation and tremendous ball skills.
Stafford on 3rd down. And he connects with Ebron. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop him?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
From the red zone now, Stafford. This is a screen to Abdullah. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
To the air again, Stafford. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guy football back. And City. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Second down now after the incompletion. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. From his goal line here, Smith to the right side, it's Kelsey. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained. They were full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key 1st down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. This is Charles. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Tackle made there by Haloti Ngata.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Kelsey out in the slot right. After the run, Smith going to throw. And Hill with it over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there it was right in front of us. Today's NFL, these guys nowadays, they don't just eat up space. They try and get upfield and make plays in the backfield.
Back to throw, Smith. Harris has it over the middle. A good pickup there at 22.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. 3rd and 2, Smith. And it's complete to Kelsey. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. You're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs. And now the offense operates in the red zone. They'll come out in the pistol. From the red zone now, Smith. Flush to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
The veteran Jeremy Maclin was the intended target. And now it's third down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Throwing on third down, Smith. Flushed out right. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. Here's Cairo Santos now for the Chiefs field goal.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. I feel like we just ran a marathon. That was a long drive. They probably wanted 6 if they're going to go that many plays. And there were no checkpoints, no watering stations, nothing like that, right? Terrific job by the offense because not only did they possess the ball for that long, they wore down the defense. That could pay dividends later. And they'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And ready to go for another offensive series. Out comes Detroit, and a Detroit team that, boy, lost in the playoffs this year. Don't have a playoff win since 1992. But it was a tough end of the season. There were injuries involved. And I know you think that this is a crew that really could make some noise again next year. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Derek Johnson. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the he put it through the post.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. To throw is Stafford. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams. So your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction. And then you have the OTAs and minicamps. We get to see them on the field for the first time. And we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And the defense definitely showing blitz here. On first down, it's Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
On second and 10, Stafford. Another reception made over the middle. This is Bolden. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Anquan Bolden, 43 yards. And the Lions have tied it. If they hit the extra point, they'll have the lead. And he's able to put it through. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Sean Robinson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Play fake for Charles. Now Smith. He's got time in the pocket. He's got a man wide open. It's Macklin. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They'll get 23 yards there. And the Chiefs are going to have a first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now Smith. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And it's a second down. And now they're in the hurry-up.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
They got to get it to the 21 here on third down. Throwing again is Smith. And he's got his man. That's Macklin. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
3 yards to go on second down. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. Here's Smith now on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And he
takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are going to jump back in front.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Andre Roberts now to return it. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. So here come the Lions now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And if Kansas City wants to make a push toward the Super Bowl next year, they need Justin Houston healthy for more than 5 games. He had 4 sacks in those 5 games last year, but he's a big piece.
He's a guy who in past years has gotten as many as 22 sacks in a season. So we know the pass rush ability is there. And just think of it this way. When we were kids in college football, they always said you could never have enough running backs. In the NFL, you can never have enough pass rushers. Put him with Tamba Hali and D Ford, and look out.
Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
It's complete to Golden Tate. And Tate just finished his 7th NFL season. First 4 in Seattle, last 3 Detroit. And each of those 3 years, 90 or more receptions. Finished this season with 91 catches, over 1,000 yards.
And I saw him expand his game in 2016. I saw him operate out wide in the slot. Also came into the backfield and got carries and then ran routes from there. His yards after catch really jumped back up in 2016. And Golden Tate has shown that he's more than capable of being a #1 receiver in the NFL.
And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
My high school coach John Ford used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Finding time. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is caught. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones as the first half is winding down. And the Lions have tied it. If they hit the extra point, they'll have the lead. And he knocks it through. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. And now here comes Kansas City. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Screen pass to Charles. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. The final shot here before break. Smith. He's got time. Going for the deep ball. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation, that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They go with Abdullah again. And he's got Rome. Amir Abdullah. Touchdown, Detroit. Amir Abdullah, 73 yards. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. They got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early.
Jamal Charles, nobody in front. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Jamal Charles, 76 yards. And the Chiefs are a 2-point conversion away from tying this thing up. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And the decision to bring it out proves somewhat fruitful as he is able to get it across the 25 by a little bit. So out now come the Lions. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it a second down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there. And there we saw completion.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Stafford here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota, remember the start they got off to before that didn't work out so well for them. Arizona, we thought they were a lock to be in the playoffs. In fact, many of us called them Super Bowl contenders. And Carolina, the defending NFC champs going into last season, they didn't make it. So I think that all 3 could return to former glory. I'm going to give you one way off the pace here. You ready?
Let's go.
The Los Angeles Rams. They get the young quarterback going, and that defense continues to live up to expectations. They can make a real strong push in the West.
They've got the D, you're right. They just need the O. Throwing is Stafford. And Tate's got it. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
10 yards still left on second down. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And right with it here over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
So they're operating in the red zone. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Derek Johnson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And Hill with it over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year and the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They're trying to establish that running game, but they're really, really having trouble, aren't they?
Yeah, when you're running against a really good 4-3 defense, that means you've got big guys inside who control things. Those big defensive tackles are making it very difficult to find open space.
Again, it's Charles. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
And he's got his man. That's Macklin. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. On the direct snap, Charles. He juked him. And the gadget package there won't do much for him. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
Now Smith. It's brought in by Harris. A very solid gain of 27.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They go play action here. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
To throw is Smith. And this is caught. Jeremy Maclin. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. A good in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Ezekiel Ziggy Ansah with a tackle for loss. Just think he's still learning the game of football. Didn't play a heck of a lot of it in his native country. And at BYU was...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelce, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Chiefs have broken our tie as they take the lead. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. 6 yards here to go for the offense on second down. Defense showing blitz. And, Charles, this infraction is going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
On second down, here's Stafford. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Complete here to the right to Bolden. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Stafford on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
While an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play, For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
After the run, Smith going to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Now on the run, he'll throw it back. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect.
Marvin Jones, the 30. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
7 yards there on the first down screen play. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball.
And he lost the football. Charles loses it. But it looks like the Chiefs are going to get it back. 2nd down fumble. Now the offense needing to do something here on 3rd down. So they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Another pistol look here. Here's Smith. Ziggy Ansah in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
Now it's Tate. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And Lions will take over. They come out here in the I. On first down, it's Stafford. And his throw is incomplete. So 2nd and 10 here. Here comes the D swarming to the line. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drive.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And he connects with Ebron. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. It only took Stafford 90 games to hit 25,000 yards in his career, fastest ever, and he adds to that yardage total there.
I'm not sure anyone in the league has a more confident arm than Matthew Stafford does. He can wait until they're actually open before delivering, as opposed to anticipating them being open because of the strength of his arm, and he doesn't mind showing it off. Really good, skillful, tough contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
They go back to Abdullah on first. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now Stafford, he goes underneath to Abdullah. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Give him 3 on the gain there, 2nd and goal.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll try and run it in with Burton. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Mike Burton, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Lions have broken our tie as they take the lead. And it would appear they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's all the way up across the 40. And down at the 42-yard line. Great return. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Ezekiel Ansah in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. And the offense moving quickly to the line. He's back to throw. Harris has it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. Charles the lone setback. They'll look to throw. Wilson snags it left side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. So here we go, a third down after the second down pass completion. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. Back to throw, and nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on fourth down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. He'll look to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Lions looking like they're going to come away with a victory. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they've kind of got a situation here. Still 3 timeouts defensively, so maybe you try to run a play.
And if you do it as safe as possible.
Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. They come out here in the eye. Stafford giving to his fullback, Burton. So we got 3 at 1 tackle, and the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
All right, let's put the check mark on the defensive side of the ledger there. Really nice tackle by the man in the middle. But why was he able to get that done? Because he has 4 down linemen in front of him, 2 tackles, 2 ends. And what they often try to do is create what we call a funnel. Right to the man in the middle linebacker, who often leads his team in tackles.
Now it's Stafford. This is Riddick on the screen. Stays on his feet. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Back to throw. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room where they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
One more extra point attempt for good measure. It's up and it's good as they tack on one more to what's going to be a very satisfying victory. So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.